Namaskar, I am Tilak Devasher and you are watching The Great Game Reloaded. For decades, Balochistan, the vast resource-rich region of Pakistan, has simmered with anger, insurgency and distrust of the Pakistani state. But what we are witnessing today is something qualitatively different. This is not sporadic violence. This is organized warfare. It is a campaign with a name, with phases, and designed to send a message. It's called Operation Herof, a Baluchi literary term meaning black storm, commonly used in Baloch poetry. To understand what is happening today, let's begin with a bit of history. Since 1948, when Pakistan forced the accession of the Khanate of Kalat, as most of Balochistan was then called, every generation of Baloch has broken out in revolt. In 1948, 1958, 1962, 1973-77, and since 2004. They've been convinced that the Punjabi-dominated Pakistani state only wanted to exploit its resources and indulging in massive human rights violations. Each insurgency was suppressed militarily, none resolved politically. The turning point came on 26 August 2006 when Nawab Akbar Bukti was cornered and killed by the army. Since then, the insurgency picked up pace, with the militants seeking targets at every opportunity. By the early 2020s, peaceful movements, whether of students, rights activists, or civil society, were brutally suppressed. The space for moderate Baloch politicians was also increasingly closed. With political doors shut, armed resistance gained legitimacy. More and more Baloch came to believe that picking up the gun was the only way to save their honor and their land. On 25th August 2024, a day before the death anniversary of Nawab Akbar Bukti, the Baloch Liberation Army, or BLA, launched Operation Herof. This was not a single attack, but coordinated assaults across at least 12 districts, targeting military camps, rail infrastructure, and security convoys. Highways were blocked, checkpoints set up, security personnel were identified and targeted. The geographical spread suggested detailed planning. The BLA claimed over 100 Pakistani soldiers killed, a figure Islamabad disputed. But even Pakistani admissions confirmed this was one of the most intense militant offensives in years. Key operational features in 2024 included simultaneous attacks within a narrow time window, roughly 6 to 10 hours, and temporary control of terrain, particularly stretches of highways. The objective was not to hold ground permanently, but to demonstrate capability and state absence. Operation Herof shocked the Pakistani security establishment by its scale, coordination, and confidence. It was not just a military act, it was a political statement. By 2025, violence accelerated. The most dramatic was the hijacking of the Jafar Express, a passenger train in Balochistan, killing dozens, and repeated strikes on the same Jafar Express during the year. According to the Pakistan Institute for Peace Studies, terrorist attacks across Pakistan rose by 34%, with Balochistan accounting for a disproportionate share. The Pakistani state responded with large-scale operations under banners like Azm-e-Istikam, killing many militants, but violence did not recede. Instead, it spread. Then came Operation Herof 2.0 on 31st January 2026. Unlike Phase 1, this was not only demonstrative but a systematic escalation. The BLA claimed coordinated attacks on 48 locations spread across 14 cities in Balochistan and firm control over locations between 10 to 12 hours. Attacks swept across Quetta, Mastung, Nushki, Dalbandin, Kalat, Kharan, Gwadar, Pasni, Panjgor, Turbat, and beyond. This represented the widest geographic spread of any BLA operation to date. Among the hardest hit was Quetta, the provincial capital. Unlike 2024, Herof 2 deliberately expanded targets to include police stations and levies posts, counter-terrorism department facilities, district headquarters, prison breaches, railway tracks and stations, urban installations, not just remote camps. This shift signaled intent to undermine civil administration, not just military presence. Indicative of this was taking the Deputy Commissioner and Assistant Commissioner of Nushki hostages. Herof 2 showed an important tactical evolution: female participation. BLA videos confirmed women fighters in combat roles, not only suicide missions. And it showed civilians fraternizing with militants, taking selfies, hugging them, indicating widespread public support. Yes, civilians taking selfies with militants and hugging them. This has to tell you something about the public support that militants enjoy. According to Pakistani military statements, 92 militants were killed, 15 security personnel, and 18 civilians also died. However, no evidence was given to back the claims, while independent verification was impossible due to internet shutdowns and information blackouts. Islamabad's response followed a familiar script: acquisition of foreign sponsorship, especially India, and repeated claims that the writ of the state had been restored. How rattled the government was indicated by the video of the Chief Minister being in tears when talking to the media about the incident. From an operational standpoint, Herof and Herof 2 show that the BLA has built decentralized command and control all over Balochistan, developed cells capable of independent action, and has shifted from low-intensity insurgency to coordinated province-wide operations. That is a dangerous evolution for Pakistan. The attacks will also impact China with its large investment in China-Pakistan Economic Corridor or CPEC projects in Balochistan, and the US that has been investing in Balochistan's critical mineral reserves. What Pakistan has still not understood is the nature of the insurgency. It is ethnic, territorial, rooted in identity and grievance, especially exploitation of resources and severe violations of human rights. That makes it resilient. Military force can kill fighters. It cannot kill congealed bitterness. That's why the absurdity of the Interior Minister, Mohsen Naqvi, claiming in August 2024 that Baloch armed groups could be easily dealt with by a station house officer, SHO. As he put it, ek SHO ki maar hai. And Army Chief Asim Munir claiming in a speech that 1,500 Baloch militants would never succeed in 10 generations. By downplaying the seriousness of the situation, the state is trying to resolve a grave political issue militarily. Instead of a surgeon's delicate and deft touch, Pakistan is using a butcher's cleaver. The state, led by the army, just cannot or does not want to understand the import and depth of Baloch nationalism. History suggests that without political reconciliation, development with consent, and accountability for past abuses, force alone will not end this conflict. And unless that changes, Operation Herof may not be the last storm. I am Tilak Devasher. Thank you for watching. Do like, share, and comment. Namaskar and Jai Hind.